Have you ever noticed that pronunciation doesn't improve only by learning individual sounds? It improves when you practice those sounds in real sentences. So in this lesson, I'm going to give you 16 powerful training sentences, and each one targets a specific feature of British pronunciation in a modern British RP accent. Today, we're going to do some shadowing English speaking practice, and for each of those 16 sentences, you'll get the chance to repeat after me out loud, no whispering. And then after that, you'll get to say it at the same time as me. So we are going to train properly. Also, there is a free PDF that you can download which teaches you more about shadowing, how to do it properly, and how to make the most of this video lesson. And also, there's going to be some bonus practice sentences as well. And please do remember to like and hype this lesson as it helps other learners to learn as well. But hello, you wonderful people. Welcome to English Right Now. My name is British English teacher Roy, and I've been a teacher of English for nearly 16 years. If you don't know me by now, I specialize in teaching things like pronunciation in a modern British RP accent, slang, idioms, the real way we speak, and also talking about British culture. But in this lesson, we're going to focus on pronunciation. You can let me know in the comments below which words you struggle to pronounce in a modern British RP accent. And remember that this lesson is taught in a modern British RP accent. There's lots of accents across the UK. They're all wonderful, but I'm teaching a modern British RP accent because, well, that's the one you're listening to. It's my accent. So let's crack on. The first sentence, or the first sound we're going to focus on, is the long R vowel sound. Now, this sound is really important in a modern British RP accent because it's more common in a modern British RP accent than it is, for example, in some accents in the north of England, and that's due to something called the trap-bath split. Now, for me, in words like bath, last, and after, we use that long R vowel sound. But in the north of England, they may say bath, last, and after. But for me, bath, last, and after. So in the sentence that we're going to practice, I want you to focus on the words last, asked, glass, after, and class. All of them, in my accent, contain that long R vowel sound. So the sentence we're going to practice is, last summer I asked for a glass of water after the class. Remember to slightly elongate that sound. It's ah, not ah. It's ah, after. Okay. Repeat after me. Last summer I asked for a glass of water after the class. Last summer I asked for a glass of water after the class. Last summer I asked for a glass of water after the class. Okay, now say it at the same time as me. Last summer I asked for a glass of water after the class. Last summer I asked for a glass of water after the class. Last summer I asked for a glass of water after the class. The great thing about this video is you can watch it over and over again and keep practicing these sentences. But now let's move on to sound number 2. Again, a really important sound in a modern British RP accent because this is the short O vowel sound. Now, this sound actually doesn't appear in general American pronunciation, so it really is a very British sound. And this is the sentence that we're going to practice. I want you to focus on the words Tom, the second syllable of the word forgot, the first syllable of wallet, the first syllable of coffee, and the word shop. They all contain that short O vowel sound. Tom, forgot, wallet, coffee, shop. So this is the sentence we're going to practice. I'll say it for you first. Tom forgot his wallet at the coffee shop. Okay, repeat after me. Tom forgot his wallet at the coffee shop. Tom forgot his wallet at the coffee shop. Tom forgot his wallet at the coffee shop. Okay, now say it at the same time as me. Tom forgot his wallet at the coffee shop. Tom forgot his wallet at the coffee shop. Tom forgot his wallet at the coffee shop. Sound number 3 is the most common vowel sound in a modern British RP accent. It is the weak, unstressed the schwa. It's a very weak sound, and it normally appears in unstressed syllables or weak forms of common words. So, for example, this word was. You could say was with that vowel sound that we just looked at, but commonly we reduce it to was using the schwa. Also, with the word to, you could say it like that, but that's the strong form. As the weak form, we commonly say it as t in a sentence, so we use the schwa. So instead of was, we have was, and instead of to, we have t. The schwa also appears in the weak form of the word the, and the first syllable of the word about. So here's the sentence we're going to practice, and I'm going to give you an example. So if we say it naturally using the schwa, we would say, I was about to go to the cinema. But if you don't say it naturally and you use the strong forms of was and to, it's going to sound like this. I was about to go to the cinema. Spoiler alert, the schwa also helps with the rhythm of spoken English. Repeat after me. I was about to go to the cinema. I was about to go to the cinema. I was about to go to the cinema. Now say it at the same time as me. I was about to go to the cinema. I was about to go to the cinema. I was about to go to the cinema. Weak, unstressed, don't stress those words. Don't use the strong forms. It's going to sound very unnatural. But sound number 4, well, we're moving into the territory of rhoticity. Now, a modern British RP accent is non-rhotic, which means we don't always pronounce our R's. We normally don't pronounce an R in a word if it comes before a consonant sound or a pause or break in speaking. So as isolated words, we wouldn't say the R at the end of car, near, or river. We do pronounce the first R because it comes in front of a vowel sound, but not the second R as an isolated word. And we also don't pronounce the R in parked. If we did, it would sound more like parked, which starts to sound a bit more American. So in this sentence here, the only R we pronounce in a modern British RP accent is the one at the start of the word river. The rest are not pronounced. And another wonderful tip, the ER at the end of the word river is that schwa, so it's river with that sound at the end. So the sentence we're going to practice is, my car was parked near the river. Okay, repeat after me. My car was parked near the river. My car was parked near the river. My car was parked near the river. Now say it at the same time as me. My car was parked near the river. My car was parked near the river. My car was parked near the river. The key is let the R disappear, let the sound disappear, unless it's followed by a vowel sound. Then the R reappears, which we call the linking R, which is sentence number 5. Now, as isolated words, we would not pronounce the R, the letter R, in the words her, answer, or better. However, if they're in a sentence followed by a vowel sound, that R reappears and it's called the linking R. It helps the transition from vowel to vowel. So in this sentence that we're going to practice here, we have the linking R between her and answer, between answer and is, and better and already. And if you're wondering about the R in the word already, we do pronounce it because it comes in front of a vowel sound, already. So here's the sentence. Her answer is better already. I'll slow this one down so you can really hear. Her answer is better already. So that R reappears to link the transition between the words. Repeat after me. Her answer is better already. Her answer is better already. Her answer is better already. Now say it at the same time as me. Her answer is better already. Her answer is better already. Her answer is better already. Okay, now it's time to move on to the TH sounds. I've done whole videos about these dreaded sounds, but the key to mastering that sound is make sure the tip of your tongue is touching the top teeth like this, th or v, depending on whether it's the voiced or unvoiced sound. So we have the th, unvoiced TH and we have the voiced v, TH. So in this sentence here, we have quite the selection. We have the unvoiced TH in 3, thoughtful, and thanked, but we have the voiced TH in brothers, there, and mother. Don't exaggerate this sound. I've done whole videos dedicated to this sound. I'll put a link to one in the description below. But the sentence is, 3 thoughtful brothers thank their mother. It's a bit of a tongue twister, so maybe you want to practice this one over and over again, but repeat after me. 3 thoughtful brothers thank their mother. Three thoughtful brothers thank their mother. Three thoughtful brothers thank their mother. Okay, now say it at the same time as me. Three thoughtful brothers thank their mother. Three thoughtful brothers thank their mother. Three thoughtful brothers thank their mother. You might want to record yourself, maybe a video, or to listen back, because if it's sounding a bit more like free for the word three or brothers for the word brothers, then it's probably not going right. In fact, you're probably putting your mouth in the wrong position. But this sentence should sound like three thoughtful brothers thank their mother. Now it's time for the clear, crisp British t sound. This is really important in a modern British RP accent. So normally in a modern British RP accent, when a t or a letter T is in front of a vowel sound, it's normally pronounced as that kind of t sound. So in words like better, water, and later, all three of those, the T comes in front of a schwa, so it becomes better, water, later. If it's starting to sound like better, that's possibly more the American flap T. Or if you're glottalizing it, it's going to sound potentially like a Cockney accent, like better. But for me, these three words are better, water, later. And in this sentence here, we also have that T in the word get pronounced in front of the It's a schwa. The letter A, we pronounce that as a schwa. So it becomes getter. So the sentence you're going to practice is, better get a glass of water later. So repeat after me. Better get a glass of water later. Better get a glass of water later. Better get a glass of water later. Now say it at the same time as me. Better get a glass of water later. Better get a glass of water later. Better get a glass of water later. Sound number 8 is actually 3 in 1. It is the ED sound, the pronunciation of the ED in British English. Now, there are 3 pronunciations of these 2 letters, which makes it really confusing. But these 2 letters could be pronounced d, a t, or an id. In the word remembered, we have the ED pronounced as a d. In the word needed, we have the ED pronounced as an id sound. And in the word walked, we have it pronounced as a t sound. So we have remembered, needed, walked. As a bonus point, only in one example, the word needed, does the ED become its own syllable. It becomes need-id, needed. In remembered, you're just adding a d sound onto the end of the word remember, remember, remembered, and the same with walked. You're adding a t to walk, so it becomes walk, walked. It is not remembered or walked. So here's the sentence we're going to practice for these ED sounds. She remembered what she needed as she walked. Okay, repeat after me. She remembered what she needed as she walked. She remembered what she needed as she walked. She remembered what she needed as she walked. Okay, now say it at the same time as me. She remembered what she needed as she walked. She remembered what she needed as she walked. She remembered what she needed as she walked. Remember that ED isn't just pronounced in one way, it's 3 different pronunciations. And there are some rules to help you when we pronounce the letters ED as d, t, or id, and I've linked the video down below in the description. So we're at the halfway point. You've already survived the first 8 practice sentences. You can let me know in the comments below which one was the most difficult, which one did you find trickiest, and which ones were like kind of, that's too easy. Let me know in the comments below. And also, please do remember to like and hype the video, and also remember that free PDF that will help you to make the most of this lesson. So sentence number 9 will help you with shifting stress. Now, there are quite a few rules related to shifting stress, but sometimes when we add a suffix, the stressed syllable in a word changes. And also, sometimes depending on what type of word it is, maybe it's a noun or a verb, the stress pattern is different. So for example, in the word photograph, we stress the first syllable, photograph. But in the person who takes the photograph, photographer, the second syllable is stressed. So we have photograph, photographer. And in this word as well, when it is a verb, we stress the second syllable, present, like present an award. But when it's the noun, like a gift, we stress the first syllable, present. So we have present, present. So the sentence we're going to use to practice shifting stress is this one. The photographer decided to present the photograph as a present. So, repeat after me. The photographer decided to present the photograph as a present. The photographer decided to present the photograph as a present. The photographer decided to present the photograph as a present. Okay, now say it at the same time as me. The photographer decided to present the photograph as a present. The photographer decided to present the photograph as a present. The photographer decided to present the photograph as a present. Many of you will know that English is a stress-timed language, which means we don't stress every syllable, and we certainly don't stress every word. And when we're talking about which words in a sentence we stress, we call it sentence stress. Now, I'm planning to do a whole lesson on sentence stress because it's really, really important in a modern British RP accent. But just as a kind of teaser, we normally stress the words that give meaning. So the words that kind of you need to hear. So in this sentence, I'm drinking a coffee, we need to stress drinking and coffee because that's what gives the information. If I cut the words drinking or coffee, you're left with questions. I'm drinking a what? Or I'm a coffee. Sounds a bit weird. You could be left asking, you're a coffee? Or you're making a coffee? You're having a coffee? You're drinking a coffee? You're throwing a coffee away? I don't know what you're doing. So in this sentence, naturally, we'd stress the words drinking and coffee. I'm drinking a coffee. But stress is also something we really play with, especially when we combine it with intonation. We can really change the meaning of a sentence. But naturally, in this sentence, I didn't say she stole the money. I would naturally stress the words. I didn't say stole and money. I didn't say she stole the money. You can repeat this one after me. I didn't say she stole the money. I didn't say she stole the money. I didn't say she stole the money. Now say it at the same time as me. I didn't say she stole the money. I didn't say she stole the money. I didn't say she stole the money. But like I said, sentence stress is something that we can really play with, and sometimes it can change the meaning, and this is something that you can play with in your own time, especially when we elongate it a little bit unnaturally to really convey our message. It's something you can play with. So for example, if I overly stress the word say, it really changes the meaning. I didn't say she stole the money. It maybe implies that I didn't say it, but maybe I hinted at it. So maybe I was like, oh, maybe you want to look at her and why she's got so much money. Maybe I didn't say it directly, but I kind of implied it and encouraged you to infer the meaning from what I said. If I stress the word she, it changes it again. I didn't say she stole the money. That implies that maybe somebody else did. Maybe it was Derek. I don't know who Derek is, but clearly he's stolen the money in that sentence. And if I overstress the word stole, it changes the meaning for a third time. I didn't say she stole the money. That implies that maybe she borrowed it or she took it by accident. So maybe somebody said, Roy, you said she stole the money. I didn't say she stole the money. I thought she took it by accident. She's not a thief. She's just a bit, maybe absent-minded. This is something you can really play with, and like I say, there is a future video to come, but the standard pattern of stress in this sentence would be, I didn't say she stole the money. Another lesson that's coming up will focus heavily on weak forms. As I've already said, English is a stress-timed language, which means we don't stress every word or every syllable evenly. And we've already touched on this in the example about the schwa, but a lot of words have strong forms and weak forms. Now, these are usually what we call function words. They're your modal verbs, the prepositions, the subjects, and so on, so on. Now, I'm going to do a whole lesson about why weak forms are so important in British English. But for example, this word, which I get requested all the time, can be pronounced can. That's the strong form. But we don't normally say it like that, can. In a sentence, we often say it as can, using the schwa. So it becomes can when it's acting as a modal auxiliary verb. Likewise, the preposition to is often pronounced, as we've talked about before, to. And the word you often gets pronounced as y. So instead of can, we have can, to we have t, and you we have y. Although there are sometimes several weak forms of certain words. So in this sentence, you can hear quite a few weak forms. It could sound like this. You can go if you want to go. However, as a kind of bonus, the words want and to, want to, commonly get reduced down to wanna. So it becomes wanna go. Now, I will say in more formal writing, academic writing, exams, and even work emails, do not write wanna. W-A-N-N-A. You can get away with it in text and on social media, but technically it should always be spelt as W-A-N-T, second word T-O. But wanna is how we pronounce it, which leads into that slang spelling. So this sentence sounds like this. You can go if you want to go. So repeat after me. You can go if you want to go. You can go if you want to go. You can go if you want to go. Now say it at the same time as me. You can go if you want to go. You can go if you want to go. You can go if you want to go. Like I say, there's a whole lesson coming up on weak forms. They are really, really important. Now, in this lesson, we've already talked about the fact that a modern British RP accent is non-rhotic, and we've also looked at the linking R when it does reappear. But we also have something called the intrusive R, and this is when a R sound appears when there's no actual written R. Now, the intrusive R happens when a word ends in a certain vowel sound, and in a sentence, the next word starts with a vowel sound. So, for example, the word saw ends in that or sound, and if it's followed by a word like it would become saw it with that little intrusive And likewise, the word idea ends in that ear vowel sound, and if the next word, for example, of, starts in a vowel sound, it becomes idea of. So we have the intrusive sound in the words saw it and idea of. So the sentence that we're going to practice this intrusive R is this one. I saw it and thought the idea of it wasn't great. So repeat after me. I saw it and thought the idea of it wasn't great. I saw it and thought the idea of it wasn't great. I saw it and thought the idea of it wasn't great. Now say it at the same time as me. I saw it and thought the idea of it wasn't great. I saw it and thought the idea of it wasn't great. I saw it and thought the idea of it wasn't great. So this intrusive R is really important in a modern British RP accent. And also, another important sound is that long or vowel sound that we see in the word saw. And we also see it in the words thought, awful, and important. Or. So it's a long or vowel sound. So let's practice that sound in this sentence. I thought it was awful but important. Okay, repeat after me. I thought it was awful but important. I thought it was awful but important. I thought it was awful but important. Okay, now say it at the same time as me. I thought it was awful but important. I thought it was awful but important. I thought it was awful but important. It's a sound that commonly tricks a lot of learners, and for example, if you accidentally pronounce that or sound as a schwa in the word important, it sounds like impotent, which is a very, very different word. So now let's talk about a commonly confused minimal pair. I've done a whole lesson testing you on minimal pairs, but the minimal pair that I want to look at is the vowel sound that's in a word like cut, cut, and the vowel sound that's in a word like cat, cat, cut, cat, cut, cat. But the two words we're going to look at to compare these two sounds are uncle and ankle. Uncle, ankle. Uncle, ankle. So the sentence we're going to practice this minimal pair in is this one. My uncle hurt his ankle. So repeat after me. My uncle hurt his ankle. My uncle hurt his ankle. My uncle hurt his ankle. Now say it at the same time as me. My uncle hurt his ankle. My uncle hurt his ankle. My uncle hurt his ankle. The positions of the mouth are very, very different. The tongue should be in a different position for the two different vowel sounds. You have the and the a. Sentence 15 is going to help us practice natural British intonation. And again, you're getting a 2 for 1. When we have a yes or no question, we commonly have rising intonation. It goes up at the end. So for example, are you coming with us later? However, the standard intonation pattern in British English, when it's a statement, we go down at the end. He's coming with us later. So let's practice that rising intonation for the yes-no question first. Repeat after me. Are you coming with us later? Are you coming with us later? Are you coming with us later? Now say it at the same time as me. Are you coming with us later? Are you coming with us later? Are you coming with us later? So now let's practice that falling intonation in a sentence. He's coming with us later. Repeat after me. He's coming with us later. He's coming with us later. He's coming with us later. Okay, now say it at the same time as me. He's coming with us later. He's coming with us later. He's coming with us later. So remember, standard British intonation, go up for yes or no questions. That's where the answer is yes or no. And if it's a statement, the intonation falls at the end. And for sentence 16, we're going to do a flow and linking master sentence. So this is a lot about connected speech. So in this sentence here, we have an elision of t at the end of the word last. So we don't say last Thursday, we say last Thursday. Last Thursday, we drop the t in last. At the end of the word Thursday, we have a linking y sound to link to the I. So we have last Thursday I. Last Thursday I. We have that y sound. At the end of the word thought, we have a clear pronounced t, and that actually moves over to connect to the word about. So it becomes thought about. Thought about, not thought about. And interestingly, at the end of the word about, in a modern British RP accent, a lot of speakers will glottalize that T, and it becomes more like a about walking, about walking. So instead of saying about walking, we say about walking. Between the words past and the, there is also another elision of t, so it becomes past the park, past the park. And there's also a consonant to vowel linking between the words park and after. So the k moves over, it becomes park after, not park after. Remember the words that we need to stress as well, like Thursday, thought, walking, park, and work. And also remember that this is a sentence, this is a statement, which means in British English, the intonation will fall at the end. It's not after work, it's after work. Now, if I don't follow any of those connected speech rules, this sentence here is going to sound really clunky. It's going to sound a bit robotic. Listen to this. Last Thursday, I thought about walking past the park after work. It sounds really disjointed and not natural at all. But if I say naturally using those connected speech rules and hints, it's going to sound more like this. Last Thursday, I thought about walking past the park after work. If I say it slowly, but still using those connected speech rules, of course, it's going to sound a little bit unnatural because I'm deliberately slowing it down. It will sound like this. Last Thursday, I thought about walking past the park after work. But we're going to say it at natural speed and repeat after me. Last Thursday, I thought about walking past the park after work. Last Thursday, I thought about walking past the park after work. Last Thursday, I thought about walking past the park after work. Now say it at the same time as me. Last Thursday, I thought about walking past the park after work. Last Thursday, I thought about walking past the park after work. Last Thursday, I thought about walking past the park after work. Also remember, we don't pronounce the R's in the word Thursday, park, and work because they all come in front of a consonant sound, and also in this case, in the word after because it comes also in front of a consonant sound. So in this sentence, not a single letter R is actually pronounced. This is a sentence you can practice over and over again, and in fact you can go back and look at the other 15 to look at other connected speech rules that we've just talked about, or even listen back to how I use them naturally. So here's your challenge. You have 16 sentences right here. What I want you to do is record yourself, listen back, maybe even record a video and watch to make sure your mouth position is correct. Compare the different pronunciations, compare with me as well, and then adjust. If you repeat these 16 sentences every day for 10 minutes, it's going to help a lot. That's how pronunciation actually improves. Repetition over and over again, shadowing over and over again, repeating over and over again. I cannot stress that enough. If you practice these 16 sentences every day for 10 minutes, you are going to improve massively. You can let me know all about your progress in the comments below. Please do remember to like and hype this lesson, and remember there is that free PDF that you can download to learn even more. But from me today, I just want to say thank you very much for watching this lesson. Please do keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next class.